along from this topic, defining the role of women in the military. Deploy female soldiers to fight insecurity, so says Aisha Buhari. Nigeria's First Lady Aisha Buhari on Thursday last week called on the military authorities to deploy female soldiers to fight against insecurity witnessed in some states across Nigeria. Now, the First Lady partly blamed the security crisis witnessed in the country on the yet to be defined role of women and cold feet in exploring their potentials for operational effectiveness in the military. She also stated that for insecurity to be successfully tackled, the impact of the female gender must be adequately unleashed. Okay, now the big question is, would you say our fight against insecurity has been not very successful, because there's a gender issue?
No. I keep asking myself why people keep dodging this issue of. You see, the problem since this government came in, I will still go back to that. They are used to dodging the very important or pointing figure where it should be pointed at.
Okay.
I felt it looks like the First Lady is becoming an expert in all the issues that is affecting Nigeria today. Now, if it's, I don't know where he's getting that from, that a deployment of female soldiers will help curtail the activities of the insurgents. And I believe that Mrs. President should know that, the First Lady should know that the life of a woman is equal 1 million of a man. If you look at the advocacy that have been going on today, unfortunately, if a life of a woman is involved, is cut short, it is equal that 1,000 or 1 million of a man.
It's not obtainable, in the military
because listen, if all the things that are happening to men in the war front in Northeast are happening to women, women are the one that they push forward to get that, you would have seen activists, the likes of every other person that
coming automatically.
It doesn't work like that.
Removes the gender. You get what I'm trying to
quite understand. I was waiting for him to learn. See, my brother.
As soon as you enlist.
But no, hold on.
You will see.
No, hold on.
So we are going to talk about this here again.
The moment I agree with that, the moment you're no longer seen as in the military, they don't greet good morning, man.
It's morning,
sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, see, my elder brother's, my senior brother's wife is a major in the Nigerian army, and she has gone on peacekeeping force, outside Nigeria. Okay. In the most dangerous parts of Nigeria, and they were exposed even under the UN supervision and all that, and they were exposed to the dangers of. So there was no issue of you're a woman, let the men go forward. No, you've got the instrument of this to encourage you to go. Okay. See, the point is this: I think we should look beyond the gender issue that the First Lady is trying to point out. For me, first of all, what I took away from there is that one, we're still having a what's it called, insecurity challenge
in Nigeria.
Two, she has identified the fact that our military have become almost unable to address these, insecurity issues. So we shouldn't lose sight of that. Okay. Instead of concentrating on the gender thing, it's not gender thing. We should look into the actual insecurity which, we have found ourselves today. Now, come to think of it, the Nigerian police, it's just that maybe we'll be looking at it from face value like that. If you go to the roadblocks, have you really seen any female policeman on the roadblock? No.
Except at the traffic.
Except traffic to control traffic. I don't know whether it is an institutional thing that the police have decided not to deploy their female police officers, to roadblocks and all that. That's that. But for the army, the Air Force and the Navy, their women are in the forefront of this, and they do exactly the same thing that their men folk do. Okay. They undergo the same training. They're exposed to the same danger, because at the end of the day, carrying a gun has nothing to do with, being
male or female.
If a 15-year-old girl comes in here now, me and Ofose will start answering her, yes, ma'am, because she has the instrument that can, silence. So, but in totality, patience, on a serious note, so that we don't trivialize this thing. There's insecurity in the country, and that's the point that the First Lady is trying to make. So, not necessarily the area of gender.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned.
My point is very clear. That's what I'm saying. The First Lady shouldn't begin to make those assertions. It's in this country where some people were crying foul that there are some particular ethnic group that were sent into the northeast by the army. We're in this country, you see, because ours is a very peculiar environment. What is happening in the UK, even in Kenya, you can't replicate that here, because you know that you will fail. Those things will fail. Those strategies will fail. So if the First Lady begin to talk about pushing women in front, I can assure you, if anything happens to any woman in the war front, you will see what our feminine activists will do, will say. You understand? However, Mrs. First Lady should first of all point a finger at the husband, who is the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. If the armed forces in this country fail, Mr. President has failed, because he's the Commander-in-Chief. He's the person that should say, go and stop. So pointing finger at where it shouldn't be is improper. That's my own concern. If the First Lady come out today and say, my husband is not addressing the security situation in Nigeria properly, I think the president will sit up.
They will deal with that.
But even if they are going to deal with her secretly, she has spoken. All the things she has said before, nobody has dealt with her.
This particular issue, has become a topic of debate on social media, because if we are going to be sensitive in terms of deployment of female soldiers, then I don't think we have a right, so to say, to keep pressuring this government on inclusion, of women and equality and all of that. You get what I'm trying to say? Meanwhile, the armed forces of Nigeria have come out to say that we have attained 27.7% female participation in peacekeeping operations,
I think so.
which is higher than the United Nations recommendation of 17%.
I agree.
Okay.
Even United Nations also understand that. Understand the fact that women should be given a backward role in terms of fighting.
No, are you sure they believe in giving them backward
No, because that's
role?
why they give 17%.
They are trying to
17%. Now we have exceeded.
No, they are trying to encourage you.
17%.
He there too. Women didn't have that percentage of personnel in the military, so they are saying at least in worst case scenario, let's have up to 17. And Nigeria has done well by going beyond that. So, but that's not to mean that the UN is saying that they should be kept at it.
They shouldn't even mention it if that is what it is.
No, they know.
That's what is taking.
No, they know that your country. They know that your country. Other countries are not doing that, because even in what's it called, more civilized countries, they have. Their women are in the military.
Okay.
But I think in conclusion, the solution, in my view, to the insecurity that we have in this country at the moment is that the President and Commander-in-Chief should rejig his team.
Okay.
We are tired of talking about that.
Rejig your team. He's the only manager that I know that doesn't change his team when they are not doing well, whether in sports, whether in business management. When if you're doing the business and your business is not doing well, you want to employ good hands to come and help you. What do business? If you are a football manager or basketball and your players are not doing well, you are down by 2 or 3 goals, you want to change and bring in. So Mr. President should change the security team.
Okay, let's look at reactions coming in from viewers. Mr. Abiodun Shopito is reacting to the VAT story, and he says the government should reduce the cost of governance if they want to generate money to run the nation. It is heartless to increase the burden of the people while those in government earn humongous salaries. Let the salaries be reduced drastically to fund governance. Thank you, Mr. Shopito. All right, this other one just coming in says, Patience, good day. I want Nigerians to know that in this country, we only have rulers, not leaders. They only fight for their own pockets, not the plight of their subjects. And the NLC also does not help Nigerian masses. Each time they push for hike in salary, always result to inflation, which is never reversed. Ojo from Agege sent that one in.